library is about to be open.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most savage burns from the Drag Race Reading Challenge that were left on the cutting room floor.
Trinity, the tuck you on All Stars is just like what's in your face. Filler.
Number 20, completely unknown. Lover or hater, but one thing you can always count on Derek Barry for is her ability to read a queen for filth while maintaining a charming innocence.
Mayhem Miller?
Yes?
I think maybe you should switch out the Miller for Coors Light.
In the premiere episode of All Stars 5, Derek didn't hold back, especially when it came to India Farah.
India Farah. This shade is all real. It's no wonder you work at a place called Piranha in Las Vegas, because with those teeth, you're a walking billboard for them.
However, we'd argue that this unaired read might have rivaled those that made it to the broadcast. While taking a swipe at seasoned queen Mariah Paris Balenciaga, Derek poked fun at her limited popularity, despite the renown of each of her three names.
Let's see, Mariah, Paris, Balenciaga. Three iconic names that are all known worldwide. Yet you remain completely unknown.
When delivered with such tact, it's the kind of read you'd also laugh at if you were the target. Number 19, Fat Albert Baby Doll. Making comments about a person's body is often considered inappropriate, but when the library is open on Drag Race, almost anything is fair game. Season 15 witnessed a bit of a contentious relationship between plus-sized queens Mistress Isabel Brooks and Malaysia Baby Doll Fox.
I think that Malaysia lacks a certain taste level. She has a severe case of drag delusion, girl.
During the reading challenge, Mistress took a jab at Malaysia, comparing her to the animated character Fat Albert and incorporating a hilarious pun on her middle name.
I didn't know they made a Fat Albert baby doll.
However, it was Malaysia who effortlessly stole the spotlight. The Miss Congeniality winner proved she was not so congenial after all by turning the tables on Mistress and delivering an even better punchline.
And I know they made a fat Cabbage Patch.
Number 18, Bigger in Texas. As the dancing queen of Mesquite, Alyssa Edwards has become one of the most prominent figures on Drag Race to hail from Texas.
My name is Alyssa Edwards, and I need to get up in this all-star gig.
True to the popular saying that everything is bigger in Texas, Alyssa's drag is bold and extravagant. However, just as Alaska cleverly points out here, it seems not everything about Alyssa aligns with the larger-than-life Texas stereotype.
Whoever said everything's bigger in Texas has obviously never seen your
What might have been a simple one-liner is quickly transformed into a top-tier double-layered read that no one saw coming.
But you know what they have seen? Your body.
From another queen, this easily could have been a winning joke, but the fact that it doesn't even make the cut is a testament to Alaska's brilliance. Number 17, Dancing Fool. The unaired reads from All Stars 2 seem to have really targeted Alyssa Edwards. Known for her exquisite choreography skills and her hilarious antics, Alyssa is sometimes referred to as the Dancing Fool.
Alyssa Edwards, you've often been referred to as the Dancing Fool.
When Ginger Minge put on the reading glasses, she playfully expressed bewilderment at the addition of the word dancing to Alyssa's moniker.
I just want to know, when did the dancing part get added?
Obviously, every Drag Race fan is well aware that when it comes to splits, kicks, and dips, hardly anyone can do it quite like Alyssa Edwards. But it's that cunning subversion that makes this read so clever. Number 16, Manly Arms. Sometimes the best reads are those that manage to praise you while delivering a painful jab. Few have done this as masterfully as Fifi O'Hara on All Stars 2.
Sweetie, if you don't have a wristband, you can't be in here for the meet and greet.
It is widely acknowledged that Katya was one of the standouts on Season 7. The faux Russian queen narrowly missed the top 4 and was one of the first from the season to be called back for All Stars. When trying to read Katya, Fifi called out her manly arms, suggesting that her run on Season 7 may have had something to do with it.
Very manly arms. I mean, can we blame her, though, after carrying the weight of Season 7 on your shoulders?
Of course, Katya returned the favor later on, but her words were not nearly as kind.
Since you fixed your snaggletooth, I'll just talk about your face. You're ugly.
Number 15, the annihilation of Naomi Smalls. With how scathing these reads were, we're honestly shocked they didn't make it onto the broadcast.
It is very hard to have an intelligent conversation with Derek Barry. The only thing harder is Robbie Turner's wig lines.
Bob the drag queen's effortless wit rises to the surface as she unleashes a rapid-fire series of jabs at Naomi Smalls. Bob goes for the jugular, targeting Naomi's choice of shoes and questioning how her family approved of her appearing on TV in them.
I find it amazing you have 11 brothers and sisters and no one loved you enough to tell you not to wear those shoes on national TV.
She then follows that up with 2 hilarious jokes about Naomi's skinny frame.
She's so skinny, she can look at the peephole with both eyes.
Of course, their fellow top 3 sister Kim Chi was not left out of the fun. Bob rounds things out with a comical impression of Kim's lisp that's a little bit suspicious.
How would I describe your teeth? Suspicious.
Number 14, immediate improvement. She may take a dip in cool, refreshing waters, but Darien Lake has got a pretty filthy mouth.
Ben de la Creme, you remind me of a Russian doll, full of yourself.
The New York Queen proved that during the reading challenge on season 6, pulling a surprise win over queens like Bianca Del Rio and Ben de la Creme. And it's easy to see why. Darien appears to check in on Laganja Estranja before flipping her apparent concern into a scathing remark.
Laganja, you're not yourself today. I noticed the improvement immediately.
She repeats this technique with Trinity K. Bonet, making a joke about the alleged size of her genitalia and turning it into a clever pun on the metric unit.
But it smells like a foot.
And again with Courtney Act, highlighting that her beauty seems to be confined to the inside, ostensibly for good reason.
Her real beauty is on the inside. I guess that's why you've let so many men inside you.
Number 13, Now or Never. When Blair St. Clair titled her 2018 debut single Now or Never, little did she know that it would come back to haunt her on Drag Race.
I'm breaking free to fly because it's now or never.
Jujubee pranced through the doors of the library on All Stars 5, armed with a cheeky smile and the knowledge of the song's title, and effectively destroyed any hopes Blair had of clinching the crown.
Winning the crown is like your hit song Now or Never, not now, and probably never.
Granted, neither did Jujubee, but at least the two shared the win on this reading challenge. Although it was a double victory based on the reads that aired, we think Jujubee slightly edged out Blair with her unaired comments on Angina and India Farah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Don't unpack, go back.
Number 12, Unfinished Business. By now, you probably know that Season 6 Queen Courtney Act's drag name is a play on the phrase caught in the act. What act exactly, you might ask? Well, that depends on who's answering. According to fellow competitor Jocelyn Fox, there's only one thing Courtney has been caught doing.
Caught in the act. What were you caught in the act of? Putting your face on? Because you always look unfinished.
You know it's a sick burn when the only response Mama Ru can muster is a chilly, ooh. Yet Jocelyn doesn't stop there. She also has choice words for Ben de la Creme, whose relevance she calls into question.
Ben de la Creme, or more like has been de la Creme.
And throws some snappy shade at Laganja Estranja, who, at that point, is just happy to still be there.
Laganja, you're still here?
Number 11, Heavy Crown. Trying to read the first ever winner of Drag Race might be intimidating for some, but clearly not for Trixie Mattel. When RuPaul opened the library on All Stars 3, Trixie directed a remark at Season 1 winner Bibi Zahara Benet that was so good, it's a surprise it was left on the cutting room floor.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and heavier is the body.
If the camera adds 10 pounds, we can only imagine how much more the crown has to offer. Trixie may not have won this particular challenge, but taking this comment into consideration, as well as her other unaired reads for Aja and Thorgy Thor, she was definitely a close second.
Girl, your drinking has affected me in the following ways.
Number 10, Chicken Filter. You know Latrice Royale is going to read a queen whenever the library is open.
Jiggly Caliente, BMW, body made wrong.
So, after reading Monet Exchange's Poor Silhouette, Latrice roasted Trinity the Tuck's excessive cosmetic procedures. The bird comparisons were hilariously spot on, without feeling excessively mean. And Royale's visual reference to Instagram filters accurately summed up just how dramatically Trinity's appearance had changed between seasons 2.
Trinity the Tug, she's had so much plastic surgery. Going through her Instagram, it looks like somebody face-tuned a chicken.
Even Trinity herself couldn't help but laugh. In fact, she seemed to find it funnier than anyone else. Number 9. Eye problems. While mocking someone's disorder can often be tasteless, good humor among friends allows for some more racy jokes.
Shangela, hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
The only queen I know that can make epilepsy on stage look good.
In the case of Kennedy Davenport's lazy eye, Chi-Chi DeVayne took a subtler approach to mock her. DeVayne's yells even appear innocent at first, until you realize she's toying with Kennedy.
Kennedy Davenport. Kennedy, I'm over here.
The slow-burning delivery is hysterical and results in a priceless reaction from Trixie Mattel. Thanks to how simple Chi-Chi's insult is, Kennedy takes an otherwise offensive insult with a grin as well. And by giving everyone a moment to figure it out, DeVayne's burn lands with the right amount of tact.
Girl, that one eye confusing me, girl.
Number 8. Under a flickering light.
I also think that your makeup is very dark.
Yeah, we can't really see your eyes.
Aja has always had a rather dramatic style and way with clothes, which has left her as an easy target for ridicule.
Hey, yo, Stan!
Oh, Lord. I have some unfinished business.
Ben de la Creme, on the other hand, seemed to praise her unusual looks as something surreal. However, Ben's use of horror tropes quickly flipped this into a hefty backhanded compliment. The images Ben de la Creme calls to mind were vivid and brutal enough to make Ru gasp in response as well.
Aja, I feel like people didn't really get your whole thing.
It was also exceptionally difficult not to giggle as Ben insisted that Aja's makeup defied physics against her. Ben de la Creme's punchline hit harder though, thanks to how kind she sounded at first.
Everybody in the room can look like they're brightly lit, but you still somehow look like you're under that one flickering light in a haunted hospital.
Number 7. Ripoff. Morgan McMichael's dancing abilities were a standout talent on Drag Race, but her looks, not so much.
Two hearts that beat as one. Two hearts. I need you. Two hearts.
Ben de la Creme took this as an opportunity on All Stars to read Morgan as utterly forgettable.
I'm Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. I get to pick my spot, I guess. Oh, wow. I am what I call a Southern belle or a very Atlanta girl.
By greeting her as two completely different drag queens, Ben simultaneously slams McMichael's appearance as sloppy and unoriginal as well.
Phoenix. Oh, I'm sorry. Nicole Paige. Pass.
The fact that both of the contestants mentioned flopped on their seasons was a funny detail for knowledgeable fans, too.
But I definitely do have a bitchy side.
Ben even opted to move on as a result of all her fake confusion just to rip into Morgan more. Plus, the indirect comparisons cut McMichael's much deeper than any straightforward burn on the episode did.
Hi. What's going on?
What's up? Look at your shoes. I love that.
Yes, honey, yes. My name is Phoenix. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, craziness.
Number 6. Filled with cobwebs.
In the great tradition of Paris is Burning,
the library is open!
Bianca Del Rio has consistently been one of the strongest comedy queens in Drag Race history. So, Adore Delano had to push the envelope to insult her.
Bianca is doing amazing. She's hilarious. She's everything I want to be when I'm 57.
For a rather decrepit illustration of Bianca's age, Adore decided to imagine hooking up with her. While her read was over the top and gross to begin with, she got uncomfortably intimate with her storytelling as well.
Miss Bianca, you're such an old If I fisted you, I would bring out some cobwebs and dust on my hands.
The explicit sexual visuals evoked in Adore's roast were enough to have everyone cackling before the punchline too. Combining all these themes together, however, was enough to give Bianca and audiences a hilariously disturbing mental image it would be hard to forget. Number 5. Beyoncé. Trinity K. Bonet talked a lot about playing Beyoncé on season 6, which gave Bianca Del Rio plenty of material for when the library opened.
My lifelong dream is to be an illusionist in Vegas. I would love to be Beyonce in Vegas.
Trinity looked excited as Bianca mentioned Destiny's Child at first. Del Rio's classic horror reference cleverly turned Bonet's obsession against her, however, with comedic wit and brilliant wordplay. The sharp change of mood on Trinity's face was chuckle-inducing too.
No, Trinity. She thinks she looks like Beyonce from Destiny's Child. On second glance, she looked more like Rosemary's Baby. It's an old reference, I know you get it.
Bianca also managed to viciously read RuPaul and Trinity's ages simultaneously by trying to explain how outdated her joke was. While we already loved Bianca's sense of humor, her endless quips here truly impressed us.
And let's face it, Trinity looks more like Sammy Davis Jr. in a Beyonce wig.
Number 4, colorful swimwear. With Roxy Andrews' habit of wearing form-fitting outfits, it was only a matter of time before she received some critiques. However, when Coco Montrese threw on the library's glasses, she cheekily questioned Roxy's taste in fashion as a whole. Her caricature of Andrews was so laughably on point that Roxy herself was smirking beneath her displeased look. Heck, even Coco's rival Alyssa Edwards couldn't help herself. Just in case her read wasn't devastating enough, Coco delivered her words like a statement of fact, too.
Roxy Andrews, your idea of a wardrobe is a swimsuit in a different color.
Given the groans and shocked faces from the rest of the queens, this taunt was clearly harsher than RuPaul expected. Number 3, postmortem. No matter how unprofessionally Coco Montrese acted in the workroom, she delivered the goods when it came to lip-syncing. Jinx Monsoon actually commended her energy too, but this was just to point out how over-the-top Coco was.
The lip sync is jaw-dropping. It's gonna be neck and neck.
Additionally, Jinx used this flattery to nail down just how savage her statement really was. The compliments also misled the queens so much that they looked genuinely stunned when they got the joke. In fact, the shrieks and gaping mouths were just as entertaining as the insult itself. And frankly, Jinx's ability to turn Coco's dance moves against her was even more memorable than many of her aired reads.
Coco Montrese, you are a fierce lip syncer, but when you're done, I don't know whether to clap or start warming up the defibrillator.
Oh my God!
Number 2, ugly inside. Though Valentina was an insanely talented contestant, she was also painted as a villain for her heartless attitude toward her fellow queens.
I don't want to be the one, but I'm going to be the one. I just don't feel like you should be Miss Congeniality.
With this in mind, Manila Luzon found a creative way to insult Valentina's toxic personality. Manila was so blatant in her delivery that it sounded like she was giving genuine advice at first, too.
Valentina, have you ever tried eating your makeup so you'll be pretty on the inside, too?
Valentina's dramatic response, however, showed that she could at least take jokes as well as she gave them out. The vivid imagery of eating makeup was also comically blunt for Manila. Manila roasted Valentina on a personal level for one of the strongest character reads in the series. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, mistake. So many library roasts have started by addressing their victim, so it was strange when Valentina turned to Ru instead. Rather than commenting directly about Latrice Royale, she hysterically used RuPaul to make a meta joke about selecting queens for All Stars.
Ru, Mystique was a mistake.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's Latrice. I love you, girl.
While it seemed like Valentina had misremembered her contestants, Royale was visibly pained at being compared to someone who barely appeared on the show. Latrice looked so ready to fight that Valentina's apology seemed to be out of comedic self-defense. With a mix of old-school Drag Race references and subtle wordplay, Valentina caught everyone off guard with this brutal one-liner.
Hold it back, hold it back.
Which of these reads do you think should have made it on the air? Let us know in the comments below.
Chi-Chi Devane. We all know she's poor and cheap. In fact, if you ring her doorbell, the toilet flushes.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.